Hey guys, so today for Pioneers of the West, we're going to be reading pages 20 through 25. We only have one vocab word today, and our focus question is, do you think the advertisement on page 20 would convince your family to move west, and why? So when we get to page 20, which is actually the first page we're going to be reading, there's an advertisement on it, or an ad, we might call that, or like a poster. And your focus question is, would this ad convince your family to move west like the other pioneers are doing? So would you and your family want to say, hey, we're going to leave our home and we're going to head west? So when you guys look at that advertisement on page 20, I'll show it to you for a while in our video. Keep that in mind. It's an opinion question, so there's no right answer, but you need to back up your opinion with why. So you need to tell because why. So I think the advertisement on page 20 would convince my family to move west because, or I think the advertisement would not convince my family to move west because. Okay, so let's get into our reading. Here we go.
Missouri, 1883. If someone offered you land for free, would you take it? This is just what the U.S. government did when it passed the Homestead Act of 1862. A homestead was a piece of land a person could own simply by living on it for 5 years. The government had taken this land from American Indians. Many people took the government's offer. Families moved west with their children to start a new life.
So the government pretty much said, if you move west onto this new land and you live there for 5 years, you don't even need to pay for it. It's free. So everybody was like, yeah, of course we want to do that. We don't want to pay for land, and we want to build a new house and have more land to live off of, and so our children can play outside more and we could plant apple trees. So this is the advertisement we're talking about here. Would this advertisement showing there's millions of acres of land, all of this land, would that make your family, do you think it would convince them to move west and start a new life there? Let's read about what the caption is.
Advertisements like this helped create excitement for the Homestead Act. Even when the land was not free, the price for it was very low.
So even if you moved there and paid a very low price for the land, it would still be yours after 5 years for free after that. So the question is, would this advertisement, would it convince you to move west, or would it not convince you to move west? So if you want to take the time to go back and read it, go for that. Go for it.
Ruth Chrisman. Ruth Chrisman headed west from Missouri with her family in 1883 when she was 11 years old. Her father raised cattle, which he sent west by train. The family, Ruth, her parents, her 3 sisters, and her 3 brothers, followed in wagons. Along with the family, those 5 wagons carried everything they owned. After meeting the train, they traveled another 137 kilometers, 85 miles, to their homestead, which was 23 kilometers, 14 miles, north of Broken Bow, Nebraska.
So they traveled a lot.
Ruth was born in Waverly, Missouri. Her family moved to Broken Bow in the Nebraska Territory. You can follow their journey on this map.
So she started here in Waverly, Missouri, then moved all the way up here to this little town in Nebraska, then here to Kearney, Nebraska, and then eventually they ended up in Broken Bow, Nebraska. But you can always see they're always moving west.
Number crunching. Between 1860 and 1870, the population of Nebraska grew from 29,000 to 123,000. That is almost 100,000 new people in just 10 years.
So that's crazy. That shows you just how many people said, you know what, this Homestead Act sounds great. Let's get out of here and let's head west. And so we can own this land after 5 years for free. 100,000 new people decided to do that. All right, we'll stop here for now and we will start our next video on page 22.